What's going on, everybody out there in internet land? This is Greg Napier coming to you live from my home office here in the great state of Ohio, the city of Columbus. And today, I want to take my time and share some information with you. It's been a while since I've done some lives like this, given some information. And so, if you haven't shared this out, share this out with your friends, your family. Everyone needs to hear this. If you can see in the description, it says, "How important is your credit to you?" I remember years ago, I was always told cash is king, and I didn't pay too much attention to credit. I mean, I was young, I was in my 20s, and I'm going to do away with this because I don't want the earpiece in my ear. It felt like I was getting some feedback. If you can hear me loud and clear, just let me know if you can hear me. If you're getting some feedback, let me know that as well. If this is your first time viewing me, let me know if this is your first time. If this is the replay, let me know if this is the replay, because I want to take my time and share with everyone the importance of how important credit is, and how up until probably about 4 or 5 months ago, I was not taking it as serious as I should have been taking it. And I remember when I went to get a credit card, I got turned down. And I was frustrated because I knew that, my credit was okay, but I didn't know it was that bad. And so I wasn't, and here's the interesting thing, and I'm going to be 100% transparent with you. I belong to a financial literacy company and have been for 4 years. So even though that's one of the strategies, and I did go back there and I actually went through the program, but I did not apply the knowledge that I obtained in the program. So remember, I'm always talking about knowledge is power, but knowledge is not a power until you apply it. I didn't apply it. I went back there. I went through the 2 hours worth of training. I went through the videos. I went through all of the information, but I didn't do anything with it. And I kept doing all the other strategies. I kept working on different things, the other four cash flow strategies. And as a result, I was getting some good results, but then I kept saying, man, what about this credit thing? So when I looked at my credit, finally broke down and took my head out of the sand and started looking at my credit, I said, whoa, my credit was a 609. And it was even worse on the other two. So it was bad all the way around. And I was like, okay, I got to do something about this. So basically what I did is I went back through the program again, and I took notes and I started applying the process. I didn't care how long it took. All I cared is that I came out on top, and that I would be able to do the things that I'm going to be sharing with you here in these next few minutes, of as a result of pulling my head out of the sand and taking action. And when I started taking action, things start turning around. Boom, just like that. I said, okay, I got this. Actually, what I said is, I said, okay, Lord, I apologize for being disobedient. And as a result of me being obedient, my credit score went from a 609, and it was lower than that on one. It was a 609 on another one. It was a 612 on another one. Can't remember what it was on the other one. Here's how I know. Now they're in the high 750s across. And as a result of that, I was able to refinance my home. And I don't know about you, but that was a real big thing for me, because we were carrying an interest rate at the time of 6.7. The payment was that was 6.7 for, and that was a 30-year mortgage. So I knew that some things needed to change, and in order for them to change, I had to make the changes. So when you want things to change, you're going to have to make the change. So as a result of listening to one of my real good mentors this morning, I decided to say, okay, let me come out here and put my money and where my mouth is and start explaining to people on a regular basis how I took my credit from what I consider the toilet to the top. And I'm going to tell you right now, cash may have been king a long time ago, but credit is right up there. You need a combination of both. And we're living in a world where if you want to go rent something or you want to do something, you need a credit card, not a debit card. And in order for you to get a real good credit card with a decent interest rate on it, your credit has to be decent. It has to be a 650 or better. You should be striving for 750. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the 800s. You know, having an 800 credit score is almost like having a perfect credit score. Not saying that 800 is bad. 800 is great, but everybody may not be able to reach the 800 mark, and that's okay. But if you can reach the 7 to the 720s and 750s, it will put you in an excellent position. Notice what I said, an excellent position. But you're gonna have to take consistent, massive action daily. Notice what I said. You're gonna have to take consistent, massive action daily. You can't just do it when you feel like it. You can't just say, hey, I'll do it today. Don't do it till next week. How bad do you want it? How important is your credit to you? If you're trying to buy a home, your credit is important. If you're trying to refinance your home, your credit is important. If you want to go buy a car, your credit is important. I mean, you can go and buy a car with a 500 to a 600 credit score, and your payment will be reflective of that. And the value of the car has already dropped in value the minute you rolled off the lot. Just imagine how deep in value, less value it would be with a bad credit score. You got the car, but you financed for 72 months with a 16, 17% interest rate. And you may have the payment that you're comfortable with, but you got a 72 months to pay it. Who wants to do that at a 16, 7% interest rate? See, a lot of people, until the first form of healing is to be true to yourself. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm taking my time with this because, ladies and gentlemen, you need to hear this. You need to share this out with your friends. You need to share it with your family members. Everyone needs to hear this. If you haven't learned anything, or you're not learning anything as a result of going through this pandemic, you will learn that you need to have your credit and your house in order, because anything could change at the drop of a hat. Anything could change at the drop of a hat. So if your credit is in decent shape, you'll be able to make moves and you'll be able to get things. But if your credit is in the toilet, you're not going to be able to get anything. And if you do get it, you're going to have to pay an enormous amount of money. So let me give you an example of what happened as a result of me applying this knowledge and lowering, not only raising my credit score and lowering the interest rate. We were able to refinance the house. It was a 6.7, took it to a 2.5 for a 15-year mortgage. The payment stayed the same because I wanted to pull money out. So what we did and I got notes here because I like to regurgitate everything, but my mentor and also my wonderful wife said it's okay, Greg, to have notes. I always try to play things to memory. So as a result of that, we got a $216,000 in savings over a 30-year period. I don't know about you, but saving $216,000 is a lot of money. That wouldn't have happened if I would have kept my credit or just kept ignoring where my credit was. If you want something to be better, you're gonna have to do better. If you want a different result, you're gonna have to do something different. And you can't keep blaming this person and that person when the only person you can point a finger at is the man or the woman looking in the mirror every morning when you wake up. That is the only way that you're going to move this needle. That was the only way that I was going to move it. I said, okay, the buck stops with me. I created this monster, and now I'm going to undo this mess. So I can't tell you how my life is right now. I'm overjoyed and excited about where I'm at and where I'm going. And as a result, we pulled out, and I don't mind saying this, we pulled out $8,000 at the closing. But here's what the beautiful part about it is: instead of me going out and buying a new car or buying anything, we reinvested the money back into our household. That's what you may have heard some me or my associates say: cash, asset, cash. We took the we I worked on my credit. I raised my credit score, which will allow me to refinance my home, which allowed me to bring money out, which is cash. I took that cash and turned it into an asset, which gave me a $260,000 value savings on my property. So now we were able to do some home improvements, which was paint the house, get lifetime gutter guard on the home, also put 28 yards of concrete on our driveway, which we have been living in this home for roughly 17 years. And we had an asphalt driveway, and my wife been wanting a driveway for years. But I was the one who I was like, okay, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but Lord, I know we need to do this. So as a result of me being more proactive on my finances and making the adjustment of taking the course and going through this process and raising my credit score up. I can't tell you, I'm so excited about what actually took place that I'm overwhelmed trying to explain it to you. Here's what I know. I was able to refinance my home, pull some money out, maintain a great credit score, and then taking that money, not refinancing, taking that money and doing home improvements to our home. Got it painted, got the whole outside painted, got the driveway is fabulous, got the gutter, got the lifetime gutter guards all the way around the whole entire house. We're working on replacing the back windows, which are I think 6 or 7 windows on the back, and these are some very large windows. We're working on that. And here's the deal: with the fact that we have excellent credit, we will be able to go in and do what's called 90 days or 100 days, same as cash, and be able to finance that and then pay that off before the 90 to 180 days. How are we able to do that? Because we paid attention to the credit. It's just that simple. It's not rocket science. Here's what happens. A lot of us get fed a whole lot of malarkey. Your credit is a pie, and 35% of your credit score is on removing negative items that are on your credit report. The other 65%, that's up to you. Yeah, the other 65% is on you. Now, I went from having a credit card of $1,000 to having 2 credit cards, of one for $4 and another one for $1,000. I got $5,000 in right now credit on 2 credit cards. That's new credit. I've been working on my credit utilization, which consists of 30% of your score. See, you can go and pay thousands and thousands of dollars and listen to all these different people feed you all of this stuff about, hey, do this, do that, and to do this, but they can't do anything about that 65%. And you can come on my live, you can call me up, you can do whatever you want. I know for a fact that no credit place can do anything with that 65%. That 65% is on you. We all start with 300, and then we work to get 550, which will bring our score to 850. That's an plus, excellent credit. You all start with 3. See, when you know better, you do better. When you understand the numbers, then it doesn't become foreign to you. We all start with 3. The goal is to put 550 on it to give you a total score of 850. But here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. You can take the 35% and you can start sending the letters in, disputing all the stuff, getting the stuff getting the stuff that's on your credit report off. But that other 65%, that's all on you. That's totally on you. What would your life look like when you start paying your bills off? Not paying your bills down, paying them off, paying them on time. See, here's the key. Pay them off, pay them on time first, and pay them on time. Don't have late payments. Because I can assure you, if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to have been doing, I wouldn't be able to raise my credit score up and I wouldn't have been able to refinance my home. I wouldn't have been able to lower my interest rate because they look at all that. They look at all your credit history. They look at all your credit history. They look at everything that your life has been put under a microscope when you go to refinance or you go to buy anything. Yes. The man asked us when he came out to do the gutters, he said, "What's your credit score?" I said, "Okay." I told him. I said, "What's the determination of us being approved for this?" He told me. I said, "Okay, we approve." He said, How do you know that? And I haven't even ran the credit because you told me where you go to look for the credit, and then you told me what was the minimum. I already had looked at my credit, so I already knew we were qualified. What would your life look like if you knew that? That's a great place to be. The only way that you could be in that position is that you have to look at your credit and you have to do something about it. When I looked at my credit 4 to 5 months ago and I saw what it was, I could have continued saying, "Oh, I don't know how this is going to work." But I already had the ammunition right in front of me. I had the education in front of me. I told you I'd already gone through the program, but I didn't apply the program. That was my fault. That was my fault. I owned that 100%. So as a result of me owning that, then I did something about it. As a result of me doing something about it, I put money back into my pocket. I put value into my home. So now if I need to go and get an equity line of credit right now, based off of me increasing the value on my house to 80 something thousand dollars, yeah, $80,000 got added onto my house by having good credit and putting home improvements. It went up 20% just putting in a concrete driveway. Go figure that. Just putting a concrete driveway, the value of my house went up 20%. So that put me at a total of $80,000 worth of equity. So I can go and do an equity line of credit, and then that's taking cash, and I can go get another asset, and then I could turn that into cash. I couldn't have did that with bad credit. You can't do it with bad credit. So if you're renting right now and you want to own a home, you have that. You can do that. If you think that you want to get a new car and you're tired of driving around in the car that you're driving around in, or you tired of going to buy here, pay here, then you can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share something with you that I'm going to be doing a free workshop, and I can only do 5 people at a time. If you want to be one of those 5, and I can take you by the hand and we can go step by step, it's going to cost you. You know what it's going to cost you? Your time. What's more valuable to you? What's the most valuable commodity that you have afforded to you? And you can type that in the comments. I can't see that now, but I'll see it later. What's the most valuable commodity you have afforded to you? I would give you the answer, but I want to see how interactive and proactive people are going to be, whether you're watching it live or you're watching on the recording. What's the most valuable commodity? I'm willing to work with 5 people and show them how they can take their credit from where it is now to where it needs to be in order for them to, they may want to refinance their home. You may want to buy a home for the first time. You just might want to go buy some stuff. But now you can do it. But the smartest thing is to leave a legacy to your family. And if you're just starting out with a family, you don't want to start out behind the 8 ball. If you're renting and you can, here's a question for you. Here's a statement for you. If you can afford to pay $1,000 to $1,500 a month in rent, you can buy. You can buy. The only thing that might be holding you back, it might be because you're afraid. You haven't looked at your credit. It could be one or two things. It could be fear. It could be you don't know. You've never looked at your credit report. You don't. Somebody then told you some information that you buying. You buying that narrative. And so those three things, but the biggest one of those three could be fear. Because if you can pay $1,000 to $1,500 a month in rent, you can own a home. If you drive in any kind of car that you paying $600-700 a month, and you living in an apartment and you paying, or a townhome or a condo that you're renting. So now just say you paying $600, $500 on a car note, and $1,500 in rent. That's $2,000 a month that you getting somebody else rich, that you could be getting. You can be adding that to your bottom line. That's the reason why most of us as Americans are in the position we're in, is because we're not allowing ourselves to be educated properly. That's all that is. You're not allowing yourself to be educated. And you just want to keep passing the buck, saying, "Hey, well, I don't know. I don't really want to own a home." Why? Why would you want to continue to be paying rent and getting somebody else rich? And then complaining. You don't have to complain. You can do something about it. So I'm going to tell you that if you want to be one of those 5, just inbox me or raise your hand and say, "That's me." Type in the box below, "That's me." And then I'll give you, we'll get on the phone, and then you'll answer a few questions. And if you're serious about taking your credit out of the toilet and being in the 700, 750 club, so you can live a life better than you're living it right now, you can go from renting to buying. The information that I'm going to be sharing with you is life changing. I wish somebody would have shared this information with me when I was 27. I bought my first home when I was 27 years old in 1985, and I didn't have a clue of what I was doing. I own that home right now to this day. But I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I didn't want to live in an apartment for the rest of my life. I didn't know anything about cutting grass. I didn't know anything about fixing things. It was a mess for me for the first probably 5, 6, 7 years of living in that home. I didn't even know that you had to do certain things. What I did know is I didn't want to live in an apartment. I knew that. I came from the projects, and I had told myself when I got in a position that I'm able to buy a home, and I get a good job, I'm going to buy a home, and I did. I bought that home. I can look back over those years and say that was the best decision that I ever made in my entire life, outside of salvation. And then the second one was marrying Carolyn. Salvation, Carolyn, home. Even though I didn't do it in that order. I bought the home before I even knew who Carolyn was. I got salvation. I got the home before I got truly saved. So salvation actually in this order was last for me, but it's actually supposed to be first, but I had it backwards. So I just chalked that up to my head, not my heart. God knows my heart. But if I had to do it all over again, it'd be salvation, Carolyn, then and home. So I'm telling you the right order, but I'm telling you the home was there. But if you want to be one of those 5, let me know. You deserve to live your best quality of life. You deserve to have zero to no. You deserve to have 0 interest, 1% interest, whatever, low interest rate. You deserve to get any and everything that you want. God says He'll give you the desires of your heart. So if the desire of your heart is to own a home, you got the ammunition to do something about it. If the desires of your heart is to have a wonderful automobile and a wonderful home, and you can have both of those at the same time, But don't get it twisted. Don't buy the car and then go buy the house. Buy the house and then let the house buy the car. See, I didn't even know that. Get your credit in order. Purchase the home, and you can start off with a nice little 3-bedroom with or without a garage in a nice neighborhood. Yes, and then go out and get you a nice home, and then put your nice car in the driveway of that nice home. Yes, yes, you can stop robbing Peter to pay Paul, or robbing Paul to pay Peter. However you want to say it. Here's what I'm gonna say, ladies and gentlemen. Put your name down there, or tell me, inbox me, say, Greg, I want to be one of them 5. I promise you, this is not no scarcity. This is not me trying to do a bait and switch. This is not me trying to trick nobody. This is me wanting to pay it forward because somebody paid it forward for me. And I want to teach people how to live their best quality of life and not be robbing Peter to pay Paul, Paul to pay Peter, going over here wishing they could have this, hoping they can have that, making excuses when all you have to do is just take the first step and say, that's me. I want that. I'm tired of living in this apartment. I'm tired of driving this piece of car. There is a better way, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to get tired. You have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. So with that, I'm going to say God bless you. If this is your first time, let me know this is your first time. If it's your second time, third time, let me know it's on the replay. If you want to be one of those 5, let me know. I'm here. I'm telling you right now, this stuff is real, and I got some more. I got some more stuff that I'm going to be sharing as the weeks and days, as the days and the weeks and the months go on. I know that it's December the 12th and we got a few days before Christmas, but don't put all your eggs in one basket and go broke. And like I see a lot of Americans doing, trying to do something that's only for one day, and that's not even the real reason for it. But that's for another date, and I don't want to get into that. All I want to do is share with you how you can pull your credit out of the toilet and be on the top.